We got a bit of a surprise when at the end of the Doctor Who Season 2 finale, Ncuti Gatwa regenerated into the face of an old companion, into the face of Rose Tyler, played by Billie Piper. So she's the 16th Doctor, right? Not necessarily. What if she's not the Doctor? But if she's not, then who or what is she? And could this even mean that Ncuti might be back at some point? Hi, I'm Phil, this is Culture Filter, and we're going to talk about the possibilities surrounding that regeneration at the end of the Season 2 finale, the Reality War. Okay, first of all, why do I think, along with some others that have seen this and speculated about this, why do we think that potentially Billie Piper is not playing the 16th Doctor here, and that there's going to be a bit of a twist coming whenever the next episode comes? First off, we've got the credits to the episode. Now, it's usual when a new Doctor is introduced in the episode where an old Doctor regenerates and you see in the last kind of scene the face of the new Doctor. It's fairly usual, in the modern era at least, to see in the credits introducing the actor's name as the Doctor. And we got some of that in the credits for the Reality War. We got introducing Billie Piper, and that was it. There was no as the Doctor in there, which is very strange, especially even within this era itself. This isn't a stylistic choice that you might go, okay, well, maybe this production team doesn't do that, because this production team is the same one that did it all those years ago when David Tennant was introduced. It's also the same one as much more recently that used that format for the credits when Ncuti himself was introduced. So it would be very strange. It is very strange for them not to do it here. Then there's the wording in the press release. Both Russell and Billie use some very specific wording when they're talking about the fact that she's returned. So Russell at one point says, "But quite how and why and who is a story yet to be told." And Billie, in her statement, says, "But who, how, why, and when, you'll just have to wait and see." So combined, that kind of leaves open the possibility that she is not playing the 16th Doctor here, that there's something else going on. And I'm going to speculate on what that might be and what it might mean. So what are those other options? I've got three. Please feel free to add your own in the comments below. First of all, a popular one that I've seen mentioned is that she is the bad wolf entity / heart of the TARDIS / the time vortex, whatever it was that made Rose Tyler back in Series 1 in 2005 have the powers to destroy the Daleks. This is, of course, when Rose, stuck on Earth, sent back by the 9th Doctor to keep her safe with the TARDIS, pulled open the console of the TARDIS with a big truck and looked into the heart of the TARDIS and therefore threw it into the time vortex itself. That gave her the power to destroy the Daleks, but it was also so much power that her body could not contain it, and the 9th Doctor had to kind of kiss it out of her to save her life, causing himself to regenerate into the 10th Doctor. Now, Rose forgot what happened while she was the bad wolf entity, but what if the entity itself, what if the time vortex or the heart of the TARDIS or whatever it was that went into her that we were referring to as the bad wolf entity did not forget, and did not forget her face? So that when in this latest episode the 15th Doctor sent his regeneration energy into the console in order to tweak reality, to nudge reality, as he says, to make the changes so that Poppy survives, maybe at that point it kind of awakens something or links him somehow to that bad wolf entity that maybe is a representation of the time vortex itself, a personification of the time vortex itself, and so in doing so allowed that entity to hijack his regeneration and sort of take his place. And then that entity picks Rose Tyler's face because it has been that before. It is picking the face it was once before to manifest itself once again. Backing this up might be the fact that the TARDIS console itself was also glowing with regeneration energy. But that could also mean, what if the TARDIS and the Doctor have swapped places? We know the TARDIS is sentient, it has had a physical body once before. what if this is some kind of Freaky Friday situation where the sentience of the TARDIS has taken over the Doctor's physical manifestation and the Doctor is trapped, the Doctor's personality, the Doctor's mind is trapped inside the TARDIS itself. And again, maybe the TARDIS took on the look of Rose Tyler because Rose Tyler is the one that looked into its heart. It remembers Rose's face from that time and it is drawing on that. Really, it's the most sensible option it has as a face to take, other than maybe the face it took in the Doctor's Wife. That was what it was called, wasn't it? The Doctor's Wife. Back in, what was that series? The Matt Smith era. It was either going to be one of those two, and, Russell obviously wants it to be Rose. And for the third option, another thing that in the past of the show we have seen take on the form of Rose Tyler is the moment, the weapon that the War Doctor uses to bring the Time War to an end. It is also sentient, and it took on the form of Rose Tyler to speak to the War Doctor.
I chose this face and form especially for you. It's from your past. Possibly your future. I always get those two mixed up.
Could the moment somehow be echoing through time, possibly from that moment, forgive the pun, in the Time War to manifest itself outside of the Time War and bring itself back into existence again, but this time in actual physical form? Possibly. Like I say, let me know any theories you've got for what else this could be other than the 16th Doctor below, if they're not any that I've mentioned, or let me know what your thoughts are on these three that I've come up with here. But also, I want to talk about what this means for the future, because if this is the case, if she is not the 16th Doctor, then this probably means that this is a limited time thing, sort of when David Tennant came back to be the 14th Doctor. This could be a kind of, one-off special thing. It could be a series of 3 specials. I don't think this is going to be a long-running thing. It feels like something they've put in to give themselves more time to find the next sort of permanent Doctor, as it were. So that could be what the future holds. It could be 3 specials, maybe even just 1 special, something happening with her before they find the next Doctor to cast and carry on with a brand new 16th Doctor after the Doctor regains control and properly finishes that regeneration. Or, this is a long shot, a very long shot. I by no means am saying this is likely. This is like a 5% probability. But it is still a little bit of a probability. Could it be that this is just buying time to fit in with Ncuti's schedule, given the delay that they had, to let him go off and do some other stuff before coming back and actually resuming his role as the 15th Doctor? I don't think this is likely, but it is a possibility, and I think it could be a really interesting one, because I don't think Ncuti's had enough time. And what a curveball that would be, what a different thing that would be. And it would be really good to see him take on a series that maybe they've learnt season 1 and 2 of this new era of film back to back, and as a consequence there wasn't any chance for the production team to take on any of those sort of observing of what worked and what didn't from series 1 from an audience perspective before heading into series 2. It was kind of already committed to, so they didn't get the chance to tweak how they were doing things. I'd really like to see Ncuti do have another series, having had that chance for the writers to maybe tweak how they do things. Also to get him to see, I want to see him in an episode with the Daleks. So if they did this, that would be the kind of ideal outcome. I don't think it's likely, but I wanted to put it out there as a possibility. Could we get a special, 3 specials with the, say, Bad Wolf entity having taken over the Doctor's body and the Doctor's mind trapped within the TARDIS? Maybe they even get him in for a bit of voice work for just a couple of bits for that, and then have him regain control of his body and return as the 15th Doctor again at the end of when all that is resolved. That could be interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I don't think it's likely, but forget about likelihood for the minute. Is it something you'd be interested in seeing? Let me know down below. And if you haven't yet checked out my review of that season finale episode that I did with my daughter and partly with my son while he stuck around, he left halfway through, but then click on screen to watch that now.